And right now, coming up on 8:15, and so glad to have your listening ear. You better get a cup of coffee and sit in for this one, because you'll learn something maybe you didn't know. I sure did not know much about the Gus Garrison Masonic Lodge in Winnsboro, but we're about to find out. Good morning to Billy and Rick.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Two guys are in here to tell us about the big event coming up with the Gus Garrison Lodge. And so I'll ask you to introduce yourself, starting over here, and what you do with the lodge.
My name is Billy Jones, and I'm the senior warden at the Gus Garrison Lodge this year.
Okay.
I'm Rick Anderson. I'm the master of the lodge this year.
You also have a nickname.
Deadeye.
Okay. We'll get back to that. But I know the lodge is a long-standing lodge in Winnsboro and Wood and Franklin counties.
It's just primarily Winnsboro is where we're located.
Okay, just Winnsboro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the first of its type of event, is that right?
For the Masonic Lodge it is.
What is the event and how do we get involved?
Brother
First
Bill?
annual 5-stand and trap shoot, and we have 4 levels of participation. One is one participant is $100 to participate and shoot.
Okay.
The other, we have sponsors, 3 different levels, $100, which is a shooting station sponsorship. $150 is a shooting house sponsorship, and then $500, which is a title event sponsor for lunch, the event, and advertising.
Okay.
So we have just multiple levels that they can get involved.
It's especially noteworthy because of the long sequestering that we've had to go through with the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first major event outside of our chili cook-off that we had in the spring. But this is going to be really monumental. I mean, the lodge itself depends on donations and various events like this for survival.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of Gus Garrison Lodge being able to survive, it affords us the ability to support charities in the town and the area. We do scholarships, we support local charities, any number of things.
Well, it's good to know that and to see all the things that that you are on this flyer. If you get a hold of one, it's the first annual 5-stand and trap shoot, and hosted by the lodge, as we've been
That's
talking
correct.
about.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're looking for, first of all, are shooters.
Yes, we need more shooters. We have about 12 to 15 shooters right now that said they're going to be shooting.
Okay.
But we like to have 30 to 50 if that's possible. We invite
Okay.
people to come out, and included in the shooting, we furnish a hamburger and hot dog lunch after the event. At noon, we serve lunch, issue the awards, and introduce all of our sponsors to the participants. Let the sponsors speak to all the participants and let them know
Great.
what services they offer to the community.
Okay.
And this gives a way for the shooters to see who sponsored the event and where they can go and shop and do things and how they can benefit from what our sponsors do in our communities.
Because everybody is in it in some way, large or small, in support of Winnsboro and that
Yes.
community.
Exactly.
It's a partnership effort, and it's what we call it, not just a sponsorship effort, it's a partnership effort. We're partnering with these sponsors. Chuck Roy with Community Chronicle is one of our title event sponsors, sponsoring the advertising and stuff. And partnership is when I mentioned that to him, he said that was the word he was looking for, the partnership, because he wants to be a partner, not just a sponsor.
Okay.
He wants to partner with us in what we do with the communities and scholarships and charities and stuff like that. So. And when we issue these scholarships and charities, we're going to issue a card with all the sponsors' names on it so they know who made this possible
Okay.
in this area, in our community.
And that's very important in small communities.
It is.
It's very important here in Sulphur Springs, too. Some of the charities that money goes to from the Gus Garrison Lodge include,
The Child Advocacy Center,
okay,
Meals on Wheels, the local volunteer fire department. We've been able to provide relief money for various individuals at times, too, as
Okay.
well. We don't do that on a regular basis, but it is something that has taken place, and we all feel good about that. We all feel like Winnsboro, Sulphur Springs, Quitman, we're all one big family, really. And we team up with other Masonic lodges in the area as well. You know, we've
Good.
all got the same goal, and that's to be community supportive, really take care of our kids. I mean, they're future Masons. We do the Fantastic Teeth program, where we provide toothpaste, toothbrush, and a little packet that we give to fifth graders. And it's amazing to find out that some of these kids, this is their first toothbrush.
That is amazing.
And it is just, it gets a smile on their face, and, and you have a smile in your heart, too. I mean, it's just really neat to give it to them.
I kind of pick up that when we're so busy in our working years, career years, there's not time to do as much that we might like to, but for retired folks like yourselves who have stepped up to continue what Gus Garrison Lodge has already put in place for a long time, that's really heartwarming to see.
Yeah.
It really gives you a sense of purpose when you retire. You're not just not doing anything, but you're helping your community, and you're making your community better by participating in things like what Gus Garrison Masonic Lodge does. And it just gives us a purpose in life and joy to see other people smile, and when we do things and help the community out. So we enjoy helping the Who's and Halos program.
Okay.
Several Masons, we all get together and we dress out in the old Western regalia, and we go out and we participate. These children come up and give us big hugs and smiles, thanking us for coming out, because they don't get to see cowboys a whole lot.
Yeah.
And we dress out like this, and it just gives us something to do. And there's, I think, 3 out of the 4 of us go out there are Masons, and out of our group that goes
that's
and does that
wonderful.
every year. And it's just really rewarding to watch these children light up when they see you. Oh, look at the cowboy.
And they feel friendly toward you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Well, you may have to work on that. And that's all a form of volunteerism,
Yes.
which is such a broad use across our country. Where would so many organizations be, and small communities, if it weren't for volunteers?
And the Masonic mantra, if you will, is all about serving the community.
Yes.
We don't serve, the lodge does not exist for our own benefit. It exists so that we can benefit others and make a difference. And that's very important, because today's society is somewhat self-centered, very closed. I mean, this little device here, as handy as it is, it seems to be the biggest monster in the room these days. And, when you get to lodge, you got people that we put those things aside, and you have a community of people, and they interact one-on-one with others. And so it's kind of pass it forward.
And what a novel thing, interacting one-on-one with others.
Yeah. Isn't
We
that
thought
weird?
children just naturally did that, and they do, but all of us were so restricted in the whole past year and fearful of others.
Right.
And I'm so glad we're getting past that.
Yeah, and it's really refreshing to be able just to step outdoors and not breathe through a cotton barrier. And it's surprising when you lose something, when you get it back again. It's, wow, I found something new, but it's not new.
We have more appreciation for what we used to take for granted. I want to ask you about, we've talked about how to sign up, and we'll come back to that, because you are looking for shooters for this first annual 5 Stand and Trap Shoot. And tell us about the place where it will be held.
It's going to be held at the Winnsboro Gun Club. They are hosting along with us by furnishing us with the facility and all the targets
Okay.
to shoot an event at no cost to the Masonic Lodge. So therefore, they're helping us keep some of the monies that the sponsors are giving us to help further the community. So they are a partner with us in this event. And they've stepped up. When I called Steve Hebert, the treasurer of the gun club, and they jumped on it right away and said he would get with the president of the club and all that. They contacted me back and said yes, they'd be glad to get involved. They wanted to support us in furnishing us with the facility and all the targets at no cost to us. And they're going to have 5 men from the gun club shooting our event as well.
Good.
So they're getting a really at a high level of participation with us in partnering with doing things that's going to help our community. And one of our mottos in Masonry is we take good men and we make them better. If they can follow the precepts and outlines that Masonry teaches, you'll be a better person for your community, you'll do more in your community, and you'll be a better person to your family. You'll do more with your family and interact with your family better. And that's just what Masonry teaches. It's been our motto from time immemorial since we began, and that's the way it is. We take good men and make them better.
We need to stress again to our listeners before we run out of time, and we've really got about 6 more minutes, but how much it costs to enter, how they make the connection with you to say they want to do that.
Well, it's $100 per shooter, and we are pretty much limited to 50 participants, and we'd love to have 50. So, come on, sign up. The entry includes 2 rounds of shooting plus a meal. You have to have your own gun and ammunition and bring a chair, otherwise you'll be standing. We'll have a hamburger, hot dog, lunch, which is included for the shooters. And essentially that's it. Just get a hold of us at Gus Garrison Masonic Lodge. We have a Facebook page that's got information regarding this.
Okay. I think I have left out a very important detail. When is the tournament?
May 22nd.
Okay.
And we start signing in people at 7 a.m. Shooting, we hope to start at sharp 8 o'clock. And that way we get through shooting at around noon. We can serve our hamburger, hot dog, lunch, introduce the sponsors to all the participants, and give the sponsors a few moments to talk about the services they offer to communities and all that, so that people can know who's involved and where they can go and shop or through our community and get the services they need. We have insurance agencies, and we have auto repair shops and stuff like that are sponsoring this. Okay. Community Chronicle is sponsoring. They get a hold of that and get a newspaper that takes care of community events around the area and keeps everybody abreast of what's going on.
And it does.
And Chuck Roy does a really fantastic job with the Community Chronicle. My wife is a subscriber to that, and we both read that every month when we get that.
And individuals can sponsor as well.
Yes.
And it's $100.
Okay.
But
so
it's well spent.
3 levels of sponsorship: 100, 50, 100, 150, and 500. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And are there age limits on shooters?
Yes, we'd like to have at least 16 or above shooting. If we get too many kids involved, we're hoping this morphs into where we can have a father-son shooting silhouettes and stuff like that. The gun club and I talked about that. We just felt like the first one that would not be doable, but hopefully in the future we can do the trap and 5-stand shoot along with the silhouette shooting and get younger kids involved. And the gun club has said they would like to see that happen as well.
And this is a safe and healthy introduction into firearms.
Yes.
And safety. Okay. The biggest thing is safety.
Yeah, the gun club has strict shotgun rules and also pistol and rifle rules that we have to be strictly enforced while we're on the range at all times. We have safety officers there that will be monitoring and watching, making sure everybody's keeping safe. So it's going to be a safe event.
And because I don't know, I have to ask the kind of dumb-sounding question, and briefly, what is 5-stand and trap shoot?
5-stand, you get 5 different stations that you stand out, and it comes from different presentations. Over your head, from the side, coming across the ground. They call them rabbits and different ones. And then the trap is going away from you different ways. So trap is a little bit different. The 5-stand is a little more difficult for people that have never shot that. Trap is a little easier for someone because it's like wing shooting, going out and bird hunting or something like that. So
come learn, come compete, and get involved and have some fun too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to continue to remind people about this through May 22nd.
That'd be wonderful.
And we appreciate you coming in to tell us about, and for those of you viewing, here's the second place plaque is on display here, which you can see, and it is beautifully done by one of our local merchants here.
Eternity Creations.
Okay, yeah. First, second, and third place are nice wooden plaques. Well, guys, thank you for coming in, and maybe let us know how your event goes once it's done.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We'd like to share that.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yes.
Thank you. You sound like a radio natural.
I used to do this for a living.
And also, Billy, you have been very diligent about asking when you were starting to ask if you could come on the air before we even started doing our live interviews once again.
Right.
So you were nearly the very first one.
Good.
Thank you for your listenership
Thank you for
as well
having
as
us.
KSST Sulphur Springs.